All right. Are you ready to sit and relax? Okay. Okay, there we go. This is nice, huh? This is nice. I know, we don't sit on the couch much anymore. So, this is the night of June 30th. It's a special night of sorts. I don't know if special is the right word, but it is the night before our special little girl here undergoing surgery tomorrow for her liposarcoma. I've talked plenty about that. This is not going to be another one of those depressing videos. I'm going to try to change it up a little bit here. I'm going to do two things. First, we're just going to talk about life with our special little French Bulldog here and how much fun it's been and how much fun we plan on continuing to have. And then I want to talk about our plans for French Bulldogs and Philosophy. And we're going to have kind of a pilot episode today. We're going to kick it off with a pilot of sorts, to use the kind of terminology that you ordinarily find with TV shows. I know it doesn't apply because this is going to be like a video video podcast or something like that. But we'll have our pilot episode of that. So it's been a rough couple of weeks, not going to lie to you. It's obviously difficult to hear that your French Bulldog here is about to undergo another surgery and potentially radiation and so on. I've been concerned because she's been showing a little bit of lethargic behavior. Now it's hard to imagine because you see this here, and it's very reassuring for me as well that when she's obviously triggered with something that's exciting, she can act up completely. So it's not like she's horribly ill or anything like that, but her blood test showed a few worrying numbers, and overall she seems to have lost a little bit of energy. She ordinarily just is constantly initiating play. She constantly wants to destroy toys, and I know while she obviously is playing right now and trying to destroy these toys, but she usually does that much more frequently. So we're a little concerned, but I think that's been it's been a good sign that we need to move forward with the surgery. Any doubts that we had about letting nature take its course and hoping for a nice slow progression, I think went out the window. This has been a real wake-up call for us to realize that not intervening could be very risky. So we're going to proceed with that. We're hoping for the best, obviously. We'll keep everybody updated quickly. You will be seeing I'm almost certain of it, we'll be posting a very happy video when we pick her up after her surgery, and we'll be talking about her recovery and all that goes with that. And that's about it for the update. Like I said, I don't want to dwell on it. I know that pretty much the last few videos I've posted are all about the regrets from the past and the previous surgery, the way we perhaps should have done things differently, especially in the aftermath and what's going on. So I don't want to get too much into that. I just want to talk about the future, and I talked a little bit about that before in the previous video from I think yesterday or 2 days ago, that I wanted to go to Mount Fuji, do more traveling with her, all those kinds of things. And I think it's important to be optimistic and talk about the fun things that await, because obviously it's going to be a difficult time. But as I said in another video before, the silver lining to this horrible summertime, which from a clinical perspective is a little bit worrisome. It's going to be at least a 1 hour, maybe an hour and a half drive to get to the facility where we're going to be doing the surgery and radiation treatments. And when you're talking about a French Bulldog undergoing anesthesia, obviously it's worrisome to be having hot car rides and all that. But the good part is we're not missing out on anything. Honestly, if it weren't surgery, we would be mostly sitting around the house all summer, and maybe just a very short walk around the neighborhood. So that's a good thing. You're not missing out on anything, okay? You're not missing out on anything important. We're not going to be able to do anything, no matter what, until September. So you know what? Might as well squeeze in a quick surgery, a little radiation treatment, and just cure cancer. What a good time, right? So let's just go ahead and cure. Well, I know I shouldn't use the word cure. Let's neutralize this cancer for hopefully a very long time. And given that she's 8 years old, and okay. Given that she's 8 years old, and no, please, not the couch directly. No. I know you're having surgery, but that doesn't mean you can destroy the house and the furniture. There you go. You get these things. There you go. There, and there's even more. How about these? There you go. You got lots of things here. How about that? Okay. So I think it's a good motivation to, I know it's for me, I know she can't verbally understand what I'm promising, but hopefully she picks up the positive tone. And that's what I also wanted to talk about the night before surgery. I know that I've been a little bit gloomy in these videos, but you should know off camera I've been trying to be upbeat, and I think that's very important. If ever you find yourself in a situation such as this with your dog or any family member, it's important to have some positive energy. But with dogs especially, the one thing that we can take comfort in these situations is that they don't know that it's happening. And I know that sounds sad in a way from our perspective, but I think it's a good thing for her. There's no need. I'm glad that she doesn't know the severity of what's happening, because honestly there's nothing she could do about it. So might as well try to create some positive vibes and keep a positive attitude so that she doesn't hopefully pick up too much on the concerns that we have. But that being said, she is like a mind reader. I swear she is like a canine lie detector. No matter how hard I try to disguise, anytime we have plans to leave, to go out in the CAR, no matter how much I try to casually prepare without her noticing, I don't touch the keys, or don't start getting dressed to go out yet, nothing like that. If I'm just gonna go upstairs, pick up a few things to get ready for it, she is just so alert. I think she must be able to pick up my body language or something that I'm giving away. I wish I could train her somehow to use these skills in a poker setting. I think she could make our family millionaires. I could be with this dog at my side, I think we could become the greatest poker team ever. She just somehow can pick up these signals, and I don't know what it is that I'm giving away. I've tried everything from being completely casual to over-the-top cartoon level casual, where I'm literally kind of whistling, minding my own business. She just knows, and she does this, staring at me, clearly checking, clearly alert that something's about to happen, that we're going somewhere. So the whole point of this story is that unfortunately I can't be sure that my fake positivity and trying to tell her everything's okay, don't worry, I wonder what she's picking up from me. And I feel bad if she's able to sense a little bit of apprehension from me, because then that must be concerning for her. But overall, I don't get the sense that she's stressed. As I said, she's been a little bit lethargic on and off, but then you see her, she's capable of playing and having fun. So hopefully she's doing okay from an emotional standpoint. At least we're doing our best. There's certain things obviously that are unavoidable. I mean, we've been going to clinics frequently, and I'm sure she could pick up the sadness that I desperately try to disguise, but probably can't fully hide from her. I'm sure that she can pick up on that. And so that's why when I was talking about the focus on positive things, I think it probably helps to just talk about it, because you kind of change your mindset when you do it. So when I'm thinking about a trip to Mount Fuji, thinking about going back to the Akashi Kaikyo Bridge, those kind of fun things, it does force me to actually think positive thoughts, because I really am. When I think about that, I'm visualizing some joyous trips. I'm visualizing some happy memories that have yet to be made. So I'm focused on that. And as I said, that brings me to the kind of part 2 of this video, which is our pilot episode of French Bulldogs and Philosophy. And the big guy's not here. He's actually having a shower right now, because we're gonna have to have a crate system to protect her, and it's a little bit tight in the house. And when he gets out of the shower, when either one of these guys get out of the shower, they just go absolutely berserk, completely running all over the place, kind of crazy. And I don't think that's good for her to see that when she's going to be restricted and struggling with a major incision. Last year it was horrific. You can check the videos that we've left. It was quite scary. and she's just so tough to have gone through that. But I don't want her seeing him running around going crazy, not to mention, shaking about and all that. And I don't think it's a good idea for her to change the setting of her. She's used to being on the first floor of the house, and she sleeps in the living room, so I'd like to keep that for her. So we're gonna get that shower over with now, which means that it's just the two of us in the video today. So for the pilot episode of French Bulldogs and Philosophy, it's going to be just the two of us. And what a way to start the pilot episode of French Bulldogs and Philosophy than to talk about some French philosophy or some French philosophers. And there's some pretty famous ones. Let's go ahead and just bring up a few. Okay? And this is a very short episode, obviously. I'm going to get into some more details. As I mentioned in the previous video, when I'm not doing my full-time work, which is researching my dog's, whoa, what are you doing? That's dangerous. Which is now basically researching my dog's cancer and treatment options. And I kid you not when I talk about this being a full-time job, because in the last 3 weeks, I've spent hours and hours every day going through different studies, looking at different treatments, outcomes, and the various, as I mentioned, usually very small studies, 30, 40 dogs, trying to make sense of it all, trying to come up with a good plan, wrestling with some ethical issues. That's the one part that ties into my technically real job, which is philosophy professor, wrestling with the emotional, ethical dimensions of this big decision, which is to put our little pup here through some very scary procedures and potentially risky procedures, and trying to wrestle with this issue of whoa, where are you going? Trying to wrestle with this issue of going for a long-term treatment that will hopefully prolong her life by a significant amount, and trying to protect her from any kind of suffering and pain, which is unfortunately necessary in order to achieve that kind of prolonged lifespan with various forms of treatment. Anyways, getting back to the point here, I'd like to incorporate some of my real work, which is on philosophy, into a future, I guess we'll call it a video podcast, once our precious little girl here recovers from her surgery and radiation. And as I said, what better way to start our pilot episode than to talk about French philosophy? Oh, there you go, French philosophers for French Bulldogs. And we'll be covering a few. This is going to be a very thin episode today. Obviously, this is just a pilot episode. I want to get our girl here to bed soon so that she can rest up for tomorrow. But let's start with an obvious one. Jean-Paul Sartre, one of his most famous works here, Being and Nothingness. We talk about the dilemma of free will, and we can get into the free will determinism debate. Are we really free to do what we want? Do we have free will? That's a good question, right? Do we really have free will? According to Sartre, we are condemned to be free. And this is a very big burden on us. This freedom that we experience is something that we have thrust upon us. We have no way out of it. And that creates some very interesting ethical issues, some very interesting existential issues. And so we'll talk about that in one of the episodes, don't you think? That's a good one for you, right? That's a good one. I'm sure you wrestle with this all the time. She is a very deep thinking dog. I know that sounds very comical, but I've had many dogs throughout my life. I've known many dogs. We have 2 dogs currently, and I can say she definitely is the thinker of our 2 dogs. And so, you know what? She may actually wrestle with some of these existential issues in her own way. Another is Albert Camus, The Myth of Sisyphus, one of my favorites of the 20th century. And this one is really about a fundamental question, or what Camus believes is the fundamental question in philosophy, which is figuring out what is the purpose of living? Why do we bother living on if we know that in the end it's there's only one way it can end, whether it's for a human, whether it's when you're 30 or 90 or 110, no matter what, you know how it's going to end. And obviously that's a very pertinent question right now as we're preparing to push our little pup here through surgery and all sorts of difficult procedures. I think that's a great question that we'll tackle when everything is done. Probably you and I will be talking about that during a recovery. I think I have some good arguments to make in favor of living on as long as possible, as long as it's a good quality of life, which I believe we can still do. It's going to be a harsh few weeks, but I think it's going to be a worthwhile life. So we just go through a little bit of difficulty, and I think we'll have some good answers to Camus and the purpose of living, or the purpose of going on in the face of certain demise in the end. And then, of course, perhaps one of the most famous French philosophers of all, one of the classics, one of the greats, René Descartes. And he had one of the most famous quotes, what basically makes him the father of modern philosophy, which is cogito ergo sum, which is Latin for I think, therefore I am. I know it's a stretch here, but I think she does think. And you know what? That is something that we're going to have to do. I would like to get her a mirror. I just realized there's no mirror in the house that she can actually reach. I would like to create a video of this, of her staring at herself in the mirror, so that she can reflect upon this question. Oh, no reaction? Oh, come on, I know that's a horribly lame joke, but I think it was well timed, and that was a pure coincidence. Actually, that just came out naturally. I'd like to get her a mirror and see if she can reflect on the idea of being, right? Whether you can understand that that is you, and whether you recognize your own existence, and if I can get her to question that existence. Now, I know I'm being facetious here with philosophical questions in our dogs, but you know, who knows what exactly goes through their minds when they're staring out at the sky and wandering about and going through the world. They may have their own philosophic thoughts of sorts. I don't know, but either way, we will tackle them. If you don't like listening to philosophy, or don't like listening to me, you get to stare at a very cute French Bulldog. And of course the big guy will be in some of them too. So we'll have the French Bulldogs and Philosophy. So I think that'll be fun. So that's a preview of what's to come. And we'll be talking about a lot of different things in philosophy. This is just I thought this was a good start to just by way of kind of incorporating the French Bulldogs theme into the philosophy video podcast concept, to bring in some French philosophers. That would actually make a good first episode. Although honestly, I think a good first episode would be just one of these philosophers. To go through French philosophy in one video podcast would be probably either require me to go very quickly, or to create a very long video podcast, in which case you'll be just staring at a French Bulldog doing this for hours and hours as she just lies there bored with me talking in the background. Yes, okay, you don't like that. Okay, you realize that's going to be very boring, huh? Okay. Thank you for confirming that. But okay, that's her way. I think she wants to come down. So I think we'll stop there. So as I said, ultimately this video is all about the fact that tomorrow it's surgery day. We leave early in the morning. We drop her off, do some blood work, make sure she's fit for surgery, and then we gotta come home and have a very unsettling afternoon while we wait for that phone call confirming that everything's okay, and then we come back and pick her up that night. So it's gonna be a long day, but we're gonna be right there with you in spirit, and we'll be right there to come get you at the end of the day. Okay? I know it's gonna be very scary, but we're with you. Okay? We checked everything out. We really did do our research extensively. I have some questions and some key points that I want to double check with the doctors that we meet in the morning as well. So we're really on top of things. We're going to just take every precaution possible to make sure that everything's okay. Okay? So just hang in there. And for everybody else, thank you for watching. I know this is a very long-winded video for the few people that are watching, which is probably a few family members, and that's about it. Anybody else, I'm very surprised that you clicked on this, and I appreciate that. And please stay tuned for our progress reports that are coming very soon, which are hopefully all going to be very positive and good news. And like I said, in a couple months, we're going to do the French Bulldogs and Philosophy video podcast. That's it, everyone. Thank you for watching, and take care. Here we go. Okay, there you go. Okay, there we go. That's it. Okay, and we'll stop there. This was from your birthday package way back, right? Yeah, we had this from your birthday package. We never gave it to you yet because we wanted to space it out, and this is a very delicate toy. Oh, okay. So much for that. Okay, I was gonna show this to you, but I'll give it to you on the couch, I guess. Hold on. Okay, so I think it's a good time to give this to you for maybe 20 seconds because this is incredibly delicate. It will not last 30 seconds. Okay, so much for me giving it to you because you found it yourself on the couch. You just you crazy doggy. You found it yourself, huh? Okay. Okay, and there we go. Exactly what I was concerned. Okay. Okay, the clock is started. I'm gonna take it away in 15 seconds. Or actually, that may be too much time. Okay. Okay, that doesn't sound good. I don't like the sound of that. Okay, I think we gotta take that away. I'm not letting you destroy it. I know you have surgery tomorrow, but you're coming back, okay? This thing needs to last longer. So I don't want any drama that this is your last chance to destroy this. Okay, yikes. No. You'll have plenty of time, okay? We're not destroying this in one day. This is a perfect thing for you to do while you're recovering. That's it. Okay. Sorry, okay? Well, you can get it back one more time today, but I will be supervising. You cannot destroy it, okay? I want you to destroy that while you're recovering from surgery. Okay, and a quick addendum to this video. I thought I'd show the bed that we bought for her. Nice new, clean bed, brand new. That's gonna be perfect for her to come home tomorrow and recover. I'm gonna let her just check it for a few moments here. Hopefully it won't get too dirty or wrecked up, but I know she's gonna go crazy. So I think I'm gonna let her put her scent on it a little bit so it's not totally strange and alien tomorrow. So here we go. Okay, go ahead and check it out, but please don't destroy it, okay? This is gonna be nice and new for you tomorrow, okay? You need this to relax. You need to rest on this. This is perfect for your recovery. Oh my goodness. Don't destroy it. And you see why I wanted to... Okay. Whoa. This is... You need this for tomorrow. Hey. Okay. Okay. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to take this away. She is way too hyper. I think she's gonna put some... She could seriously rip a hole in this, so... Okay, do you recognize this for tomorrow? You're gonna need to sleep in this. Okay, I think that's enough. That's enough. Okay. You will have this waiting for you tomorrow, okay? Oh my goodness. Oh, jeez. Okay. Can you lie down? Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go ahead and take that away before you destroy it. Okay, so that's waiting for you tomorrow when you come back, okay? Whoa. Okay. No need for that. We don't need a leg surgery on top of your procedure tomorrow. They're going to be pretty unhappy. Yes. Okay, let's hear your fortune before surgery, huh? This is a good time. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Hear your fortune from Zoltar. Men of genius are admired. Men of wealth are envied. Men of power are feared. But only men of character are trusted.
I'm not sure if that really applies for tomorrow's surgery. I hope you trust me. I consider myself a good character, and you should trust me. I did my research. We're ready for the surgery, so let's do one more though. Let's do something else, okay? Okay, here we go. Okay, one more. Here we go. Ready? Okay, let's do one more fortune.
Hear your fortune from Zoltar. Dream as if you'll live forever. Live as if you'll die today. That's right. You must live your days as if they were your last. Because one day they will be. You know what I mean.
Okay, I really did not like that. I really did not like that one before surgery. Not funny. Okay, let's definitely do another one, okay? It's true. All of us, one of these days will be our last, but it's not going to be tomorrow, okay? That's not even funny. It's not even going to be tomorrow. I certainly am planning and doing everything possible that it's not going to be this year, okay? So let's do a different one. I didn't like that at all. Here we go. Okay.
Hear your fortune from Zoltar. Men of genius are admired. Men of wealth are envied.
Okay, we already did
Men
that
of
one.
power are...
Let's do another one. Here we go. Ready? Here, let's do a good one, okay? Let's do a good one. Ready? Let's do a good one. Here we go.
Hear your fortune from Zoltar. Hard work pays off over time. But laziness, it pays off right now. Heed my advice, young one. Relax and enjoy yourself today. You deserve it.
That's a good one. There we go. I like that. Laziness pays off right now. Okay, that's good. Okay, and it's gonna pay off a lot. Okay, you're gonna be lazy for the next few weeks, and you get to be because you're gonna be recovering from surgery. Okay, so we're not talking about the last days. Not for a long time. Okay, let's talk about lazy days. Yeah, let's get some laziness going for a few months. Okay, you get to be a lazy dog for a long time. Laziness does pay off right now, huh? All right. Okay, this kind of backfired. I thought that was the fortune I was expecting. Something kind of funny and comedic. I did not expect something that was frighteningly... I'm trying to be careful how I say that. I don't want to... I didn't expect anything that would be potentially... I don't know... upsetting to the current situation. So, okay, there you go. Okay. There you go. Look at Pac-Man. Come here. Look at that. What's that light there, huh? Whoa. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Come back. Pac-Man, come here. Sorry. Come here. Where? No? Okay. You showed an interest in the Pac-Man light for... Sorry, come here. What's this? Look at this. Check this out. Oh, look at that now, huh? There we go. Now you're interested a little bit? Be careful, there's a lot of dust there. Sorry, I gotta dust and clean up, huh? Okay. All right, I'm going to get that Pepsi machine within the next month. Okay, I really hope the order goes through. Let's go downstairs. Let's go. Come back. Okay, let's go downstairs. Time to go back downstairs. Let's go. Okay, you ready? Okay, let's go downstairs. Okay, inside, let's go. Wanna go back inside? There we go. Okay, carry you downstairs, okay. Hold on. There we go. Okay, that's it for the pre-surgery night. And we'll really stop here and we'll film tomorrow, either on the way to the clinic or at the clinic before the surgery itself, okay? Here we go. So that's it. We're done with pre-surgery night.